It was late October when this happened. The kind of cold, wet night where the air smells like damp leaves and the streets shine under the glow of streetlights. I was 17, walking home from my part-time shift at the bakery. The rain had been coming down for hours, soaking everything in sight. My shoes squelched with each step, and the only sounds I could hear were my footsteps and the constant hiss of water hitting the pavement. Most nights, I took the main roads home, but that night I wanted to get out of the rain quicker. There was a narrow alley behind the library that cut 3 blocks off my trip. It wasn't well lit, and my parents always told me to avoid it after dark, but I figured I'd be fine. I'd walked it plenty of times during the day. As soon as I stepped into the alley, I noticed I wasn't alone. About 30 feet ahead, just barely visible in the dim light, was a man in a bright yellow raincoat. The hood was pulled up, and his head was tilted slightly down, so I couldn't see his face. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe he was just smoking under the overhanger waiting for a ride. But as I walked forward, so did he. His pace matched mine exactly, his boots splashing in rhythm with my own steps. Every time I sped up, he did too. When I slowed down, so did he. The alley seemed to stretch longer than usual, the shadows darker. My stomach tightened as I reached into my bag, gripping the handle of my umbrella like a weapon. I could hear his breathing now, slow, steady, and far too close.
Cold night, isn't it?
The word sent a shiver straight down my spine. I didn't respond. I just kept walking, pretending not to hear. Then came the sound that made my blood run cold, a wet, dragging scrape. I glanced over my shoulder and saw him pulling something from his coat pocket. At first, I thought it was just a flashlight. My mind went into overdrive. Running on the slick pavement could get me caught even faster if I slipped. I decided to keep walking, but angled my path toward the mouth of the alley, where I could see the faint glow of the street beyond. My heart was pounding so loudly that I almost didn't hear the second set of footsteps behind me. From the opposite end of the alley, a tall figure in a dark coat stepped into view. My chest tightened. 2 of them? I was trapped. The yellow raincoat behind me, the dark coat ahead. For a few tense seconds, neither man moved closer. They just stood, blocking my way. My mind screamed at me to do something, anything, before one of them made a move. I spotted a side door to the library, emergency exit only. Without thinking, I bolted toward it, ignoring the alarm will sound warning painted in red letters. The siren wailed as soon as I shoved it open, but I didn't care. I stumbled inside, heart hammering, and slammed the door shut behind me. I could still hear the rain pounding outside, and through the tiny glass window in the door, I saw them, both men, standing there. Neither looked at the alarm. They just stared at me, their faces hidden by the shadows of their hoods. One of them, Yellow Raincoat, took a single slow step forward, pressed his hand flat against the glass, and leaned in. I could see just enough of his face now to catch the faintest smile. Then, without a word, both men turned and disappeared into the storm. The library staff called the police, but by the time they arrived, the alley was empty. No footprints, no sign anyone had been there. The officers said it was probably nothing, maybe just some drunks messing around. But I know what I saw. I never took that alley again. And every time it rains, especially when I see someone in a yellow raincoat, I remember the sound of those footsteps in the dark, and the feeling that if I hadn't gone through that door, I wouldn't be here to tell the story.